Before human beings walked the planet Earth, there were prehistoric creatures that reigned and sowed terror in the world. Animals like dinosaurs, creatures that come out of our nightmares, and that we have only seen in historical documentaries and fiction. These animals are now extinct, but research is currently being done to bring them back to life. This process consists of inserting the DNA of the extinct animal in an embryo of a relative of its kind, whose DNA is similar enough to carry the baby of the extinct species. Although it is a great scientific advance, we should not bring any extinct creature back to our world for multiple reasons. The extinction of predators can benefit other species and make them stronger. Also, it gives this species the ability to expand and can be of great benefit to an entire ecosystem. So don't get excited because scientists are trying to revive the dinosaurs. Better prepare to tremble in fear when you meet the extinct animals we shouldn't bring back to life.
And for some extra fun, find our mascot Ned hiding throughout the video.
Titanis. It is quite common for some people to have birds as pets. It's an animal that will never be able to harm its owner. Its small size and the diet based on birdseed is what makes the bird an excellent pet. But millions of years ago, things were not the same. There was a bird that it could hurt humans. Its name was Titanis, a name that evokes a powerful and majestic bird. The Titanis could be almost as large as a giraffe. This bird, of such height, walked through the territory of North America, being a land animal that could not fly. Its greatest ability was to run very fast, and with its strong and curved beak, it caught its prey. Yes, it was carnivorous. Of course, having a Titanis as a pet today will not be a good idea. Indeed, I do not know if we will be alive. Megatherium. Have you ever wondered where the sloths came from and what are their ancestors? I thought the ancestors of this adorable little friend had to be just as adorable. But the reality is that the sloth's greatest grandfather is a truly fearsome creature. The Megatherium lived in the South American regions and was basically a giant sloth, as big as an elephant and as heavy as a hippopotamus. Unlike our current sloths, which feeds mainly on leaves, the Megatherium was a scavenger, meaning that it fed on scraps left by carnivorous predators. The Megatherium was the last Ice Age mammal to disappear, and the culprits for its extinction were the first humans. It is said that they had become extinct because of us, but it is also a relief that we no longer live with these terrifying creatures. Although I think it would be kind of fun to see one. Spinosaurus. If you thought that the T-Rex or Giganotosaurus were the largest carnivorous dinosaurs in history, you are wrong. The Spinosaurus is officially the largest carnivorous dinosaur in history, weighing about 3 African elephants together, and taller than the Hollywood sign. The Spinosaurs lived in the Cretaceous period, in the area that today will be North Africa. Its main distinguishing feature was its spines that extended all over its back and that could be used for mating or keeping its enemy away, although I doubt that it had any dinosaurs that had faced it. The Spinosaur's favorite dish was fish, which it tore and catch easily due to its large number of crocodile-like teeth. So next time you hear about carnivorous dinosaurs again, remember the gigantic Spinosaur. Deinosuchus. Crocodiles may be the living animals that have the most similarity to dinosaurs, and with good reason. In the Cretaceous period, there was a powerful ancestor to the crocodile. Its name was Deinosuchus. This name comes from the Greek terrible crocodile, and it is that its size and weight were enormous, so much so as to be able to face the best predators on Earth, such as the T-Rex and the Albertosaurus. Its appearance is very similar to what we know today as the crocodile, only much larger. Like its teeth and jaws, they were ready to devour whatever came its way. The Entelodon. The Entelodon is the scariest little pig you can imagine. Thank goodness you can no longer find it in nature. This creature lived on the terrains of Eurasia more than 30 million years ago. The entelodon was almost as long as an elephant and as heavy as a grand piano. Now, let me tell you why you should fear the entelodon. Its name means perfect teeth in Greek, and it is also known as the killer pig because it was a skilled carnivore and used its perfect teeth to rip the flesh of its prey. His jaw and neck were so strong that he could break bones by chewing them without any problem. Also, when there was no food near them, they would resort to eating their kind. Do you need more reasons to be terrified? Allosaurus. The Allosaurus may look like a smaller Tyrannosaurus rex, but this does not mean that it was not a powerful and dangerous carnivore. This giant lived more than 150 million years ago during the Jurassic period, and it was believed that there were many of this kind inhabiting the North American region. The Allosaurus was taller than a telephone pole, slightly heavier than an adult black rhinoceros, and preyed on large prey such as the stegosaurids and sauropods, two classes of herbivore dinosaurs that could not fight the mighty Allosaurus. It is believed that they became extinct when they were trapped in muddy pits for trying to eat herbivore animals that were also trapped in them. Although it is not known whether these creatures hunted alone or in packs, we do know that they use ambushes to trap their victims and use their jaws as axes, a powerful predator that no one should mess with. The Acrocanthosaurus. In the Cretaceous period, there was the Acrocanthosaurus. This large bipedal predator weighed about 2 hippos together and was twice the size of a giraffe. This carnivore giant inhabited the forests of North America and was distinguished from the others by a ridge that ran along its entire rear. The Acrocanthosaurus had a characteristic in common with the T-Rex, which, despite having short arms, could destroy almost any animal with its powerful bite, and also had greater strength in its legs. The Acrocanthosaurus' chest may have been used to regulate body temperature or to mate. If it weren't for their extinction, I am sure these large carnivores would have eaten us in a matter of seconds. Gigantopithecus. The idea of a giant ape is not as far-fetched or fictional as you think. A fossil record has determined the discovery of the largest ape that ever existed. The Gigantopithecus inhabited the Earth more than 100 million years ago, almost twice the size of an average human being and weighing more than that of a polar bear. The cause of the extinction of this great ape is still unknown, but it has been determined that the existence of the Gigantopithecus may be related to the famous sighting of creatures such as Bigfoot and the Yeti. Short-faced bears. The Arctodus was a very large and terrifying species of bear that lived in North America in the Pleistocene era, being the largest carnivore that lived during the Ice Age. This creature is commonly known as the short-faced bear. And if you thought a grizzly bear was scary enough already, you haven't seen anything. The short-faced bear was twice the size and weight of an adult brown bear, making it the largest mammal predator to ever exist. Although it was believed to be a carnivorous predator, some archaeologists have discovered that the short-faced bear was actually a scavenger that fed on the remains of true predators. This bear, like other animals of the Ice Age, lost its food source when humans arrived, and they were probably the cause of its extinction. Irish moose. Although this creature was known as the Irish moose, it was not quite that moose-like, nor it was Irish. The Irish moose actually had more similarities to a current deer than to a moose, and it did not have its home only in Ireland, since this species inhabited many regions of Europe, in addition to having reached the Asian continent to countries such as China and Japan. The Irish moose became extinct about 10 million years ago, an extinction that could be considered recent. It is believed that the cause of their extinction could have been a combination between the reproduction between moose of the same families that led them to develop genetic diseases and the possibility that they have been hunted by humans to obtain their horns. Since these animals have recently become extinct, they can be brought back to life again. How is this possible? With a mixture of genetic manipulation and artificial fertilization, in which they use a familiar deer of the Irish moose to be the mother of a future baby of its species. But we could also let nature take its course without manipulating it. Saber-toothed tiger. The saber-toothed tiger, along with the woolly mammoth, are perhaps the most famous animals of the Pleistocene period. But the saber-toothed tiger was not the only member of his breed, despite being the most famous. In several investigations, paleontologists had discovered several false saber-toothed tigers. This means that several species such as marsupials also developed their own saber teeth. The spectacular thing about this great feline was its enormous teeth, which, although they did not seem so, they were really fragile, and during fights, the teeth will break and will never grow again. Saber-toothed tigers were animals that live in packs, especially when many of them were already very old or had diseases. Thus, vulnerable tigers could be protected by other members of their pride. The extinction of the saber-toothed tiger at the end of the Ice Age could have been due to the strong climatic changes, which caused their great species to disappear little by little, leaving few specimens. Tylosaurs. In the seas of the Cretaceous period, there was a carnivore that ruled the seas. The tylosaurs preyed on seabirds, fish, and other reptiles. The large size of its head allowed it to feed on animals almost larger than its size. But it could not chew its prey. What it did was tear it into pieces and thus be able to feed. The tylosaur's tail and fins were the limbs that allow it to travel at high speeds under the sea. All due to its close relationship with snakes, tylosaurs had to adapt to face the threat of the dinosaurs and the great mass extinction that the Cretaceous and Paleogene periods had. I hope after this, you have given up your dream of creating a theme park with real dinosaurs from the past. All these creatures became extinct because the planet went through very extreme changes that did not allow the survival of certain animals. Because of that, we should not go against nature and bring these creatures back to life, to a world that is not prepared to deal with creatures so large and predatory and so wild that they could destroy the planet if we allow it. These creatures are not prepared to live in our world, and if we bring them, we will be endangering many other species that already have their own ecosystem, their food, and their own predators to worry about. Instead of bringing to life animals that were extinct thousands or millions of years ago, we should be concerned with conserving species that are in danger of becoming extinct right now. Thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next one!
Remember to click the bell icon after you subscribe so you can get instant notifications of all our new videos.